the M1, BMW's first, and so far only, mid-engined car.
Back in the 1970s, BMW had the hump because the Porsche 911 was winning absolutely everything in international sports car racing. And the Bavarians hate losing almost as much as they like brass band music. So what they needed was a proper bespoke sports racing car, something that would be a real feather in their felt hats. And they came up with this, the BMW M1. And it was a disaster. First up, it wasn't a real BMW. Because it was a rush job, they had to get Lamborghini to do the design, engineering and production work for them. But Lamborghini went bust, meaning BMW had to start again with some other people. But before they could do that, they had to break into Lamborghini and take back all the bodywork molds. Otherwise, the receiver would have sold them for scrap.
And that was just the start of their problems.
For the M1 to qualify as a racing car, 400 had to be made and sold to the general public.
But rather like that old CSL we saw earlier, there was a bit of a cost issue.
In 1979, in Britain, the BMW M1 cost about £35,000, which sounds very reasonable, until you discover that the Ferrari 308 GTS was less than 20 grand. And here's another thing, look. GRP, or plastic, to you, on a BMW. How much worse could it get? Well, while the car was being designed, the rules for sports racing cars were changed. So by the time it came out, it wasn't competitive anyway. What a farce. The real tragedy, though, is that this is a lovely car.
The engine was BMW's own, a 3.5-litre straight six developing 277 horsepower.
Now that doesn't sound that much, but it was also very light, just 1,400 kilograms. So 161 miles per hour and 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds isn't half bad. This is a 25-year-old supercar, and to be honest, I expected it to be absolutely dreadful, but it just isn't. It's easy to drive, and it's actually quite civilized. Maybe it's more of a BMW than we thought. In fact, I'd say that the M1 enjoys the distinction of being the world's first truly user-friendly mid-engine supercar. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough. The M1 became a bit like the toasted sandwich maker. Everybody raved about it for a bit, but then chucked it in the back of a cupboard and forgot about it. But it wasn't a complete waste of time, because BMW's engineers salvaged a couple of useful bits. The first was that M badge from the boot lid, and the other was the excellent race car-derived straight six engine. And they came together again in something much more practical.